We're Sid and Macky. For the past 6 years, we've been racing mountain bikes professionally and traveling in our van. Except thanks to COVID and injuries, it's been a while since we actually got a chance to race. But that's finally about to change. Today, Macky's going to head out and pre-ride the Old Man Winter course, which will be his first attempt at remote racing.
Basically, you have 2 weekends and the week in between to ride Old Man Winter on your own.
And then we're getting in the car and heading out on a little road trip.
We're feeling fine. Drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up. We're coming down.
Those of you who were around last year might remember that I only got to race one race, and that race was Old Man Winter here in Boulder. And it was chaos.
We're going up. We're coming down. Cheers to feeling alright. It's a hell of a time.
There was like a crazy snowstorm, the roads were totally icy. It was so bad, in fact, that they had to cancel the race halfway through. But this year, they're doing Old Man Winter again. They're doing it very differently. There is no mass start event. You have 2 weekends and the week in between to ride Old Man Winter on your own. It sounds fun. I might as well try for a little redemption after last year's race. I'm just gonna ride it during the week, next week, on a Tuesday, because, you know, I'll be by myself. The thing is, I never rode all of it last year because I got canceled halfway through. And since then, we've been up here in Boulder and I've ridden a bunch of the stuff. I've ridden a bunch of the roads, but I haven't ridden 2 specific parts. One is Rowena Canyon, and the second is up Linden Drive and then over to Left Hand. So today I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna just ride those sections because I can make a nice loop out of it. Then I will have seen the entire course and have a better idea of what I'm getting myself into. But before I go out and ride, I really need to replace this tire. I put this tire on when I first got the bike in November, and since then I have put almost 1,200 miles on it, a lot of which have been on pavement. So, you know, given that, it has done fine, but it's definitely time for new rubber. This is the Vittoria Terreno Wet, so it's a really nice, like, wet conditions cyclocross tire. And it might be overkill. It's probably, I mean, it obviously is definitely overkill for the paved sections, but I think it's gonna be really nice on Rowena Canyon. And I'm willing to have a little bit of a disadvantage on the paved sections to have an advantage on the dirt and gravel sections. 33C on the back, 38C on the front. I think currently I have a 31 and a 38 and a 40, maybe a 40. So time for a little swapperoo.
We're on the road. We're feeling fine. Drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up. We're coming down. Let's party on the water. It's a hell of a time. We're on the road. We're killing time. In our own honky-tonk with a bottle.
In addition to figuring out exactly where the Old Man Winter course goes, I also have intervals this ride. So it is 5 6-minute intervals that are pretty hard, power intervals. They're like 270 to 300, something like that. Fortunately for both the intervals and the course, this thing does a great job of telling me what I need to do. So that's interval screen. And then this is the map screen. And I actually just got to the course. There we go. I'm now on the course.
Yeah, we're on the road. We're feeling fine. Drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky.
All right, finished up the intervals and made it across Linden. And now I'm climbing up Left Hand. I rode like a later part of the course, and then I should have turned right on Left Hand to continue back up to Lions. But instead I turned left, which puts me on an earlier part of the course. So I'm not really doing it in order, but it is allowing me to see the parts of the course that I had not seen before, so that I'll know, well, I'll know what I'm in for, basically. So now I just have to fight this really brutal headwind up Left Hand Canyon until I get to Rowena. Wish me luck.
Yeah, now it's a hell. We're on a boat, we're feeling fine. Drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up, we're coming down. There's a party on the water, it's a hell of a time. We're on a boat, we're killing time. In our own honky tonk with a bottle of wine. We're going up, we're coming down. Cheers to feeling alright, it's a hell of a time.
So for the past month or so, I have been on Shimano's electronic gravel shifting, the GRX Di2. And I gotta say, I think gravel is the perfect application for electronic shifting, because you get the benefits of like perfect shifting in all conditions. Whereas with cables, if it gets really muddy, you might not get perfect shifts. Electronic shifting, you don't have to worry about that. The other aspect is just that electronic shifting can take care of a lot of things for you, especially on a 2x system. So I have mine set up such that when I shift, it just automatically shifts the front and rear for me. So let's say I'm like in my big ring in the front and I get towards the bottom of the cassette, or I get towards the easier gears on the cassette and I shift one more gear easier, it automatically shifts the front chainring and the rear cogs a couple down so that I'm in like the next gear difficulty wise. And it just does all that automatically for me. It's pretty much the coolest thing ever. I can have shifters right here on the tops in addition to the usual shifters on the hoods. So if I'm riding on the tops and I want to be able to shift, I don't have to move my hand to the shifter to shift. I can just like plink right there while I'm riding. It's pretty much the best thing ever. All right, I finally made it to Rowena Trail. We have a nice little sign here showing me that I am in fact taking the right turn. Looks like this, and my assumption is, given that it goes up from here, it's going to get more snowy, not less. And yeah, I mean, that's why I put these tires on. So let's see how it goes. Well, I have to say, this trail is awesome. Super rideable. Surprisingly little snow, actually. I didn't realize that it would get as much sun as it does and that the snow would melt, but yeah, it's really cool. Wow, that is quite the view at the end of Rowena Canyon. I think this is looking down into Sunshine Canyon. So my understanding is kind of squiggle over there and then get on pavement, and then like right around where the pavement starts is where the neutral section starts. So that's pretty clear. This is where the time stops. So now we are in neutral. I'm just gonna rip it down and cross my fingers that there's not too much wind. Wow, what a ride. I'm really glad I got to ride those sections that I'd never seen before, so now I have an idea of what the trail looks like or what the course looks like. But also,
the smell.
Yeah, excellent. I am also really hungry, and Sid might have made some focaccia.
Ta-da!
Oh, excellent.
I already ate some, as you can tell.
Wow, this is amazing.
Those carbs.
Sourdough focaccia, definitely the way to go.
Your glycogen stores.
I gotta replenish the glycogen stores. Do you want to tell what we're doing here?
We're gonna go for a little swim in the river. It's not deep enough to swim. It's more of a like crouch.
Polar plunge is what you're saying.
Yeah, we're cheating a little bit because it's like 50 degrees today. But the
water
river
is
is
not
probably going to be cold.
I like that Sid is just trying to downplay this as much as possible.
It's one of those things that it's just best to not like think about too much. You're like, let's talk about how cold it's going to be. My primary problem with this activity is like, I don't like being stared at. And it turns out, when you go in a river in February, people stare at you.
My primary concern with this activity is that the water is freezing and there's ice covering pretty much all of it. See?
Do you think this is a good spot to get in? I think
Sid is the one who has done this already, and now she's all downplaying it.
All right, let's have a test.
A test. All right, we're gonna test it. Does that say 34 degrees?
It says 33. It just dropped another degree.
33 degrees. This is Sid's idea of a good plan.
It's very important to have an exit strategy.
What is our exit strategy?
Not bothering to put my socks on. That was a mistake last time. I lost crucial moments. Just like we expected.
You said, let me tell you everything I've seen, the friends I've made, and then you tell me how you've been. Look a little closer, it's been quite some time. You gotta let me know if I'm out of line. But there's some words that I just wanna hear you say. Straight
Really
before
cool.
this night turns into day.
Don't you feel alive?
Yeah.
Feel alive! I can't get my boot on because I don't know if my foot exists or not.
A bit naive and so eager to please.
We're going back to Taos today, just for the weekend. Yay. Get to see the fam, see some progress on the house, give you guys an update on that, and film a lot of videos in the shed. In case you guys are wondering how we are able to go back to Taos, we basically have just kind of maintained our Taos COVID bubble while we've been in Boulder, just to say we see no one, do nothing.
Except PT and train.
Yeah, we took even more precautions for the past 10 days, and we're still feeling pretty good and confident that we're positive that we're negative. I came up with that while I was brushing my teeth this morning.
Very nice. You've been planning it this whole time.
I'm on my way. Yes, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Yes, I'm on my way.
We made it to Taos. We can already hear the sweet sounds of chainsaws. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Aside from annoyed that someone left the windows open of our van.
Kids these days, I'm telling you. Telling you.
Can't trust them with
Can't
anything.
trust them with anything.
If you've been following along for a while, you'll remember that Macky's siblings started building a straw bale tiny house on the family property in August, and we raised the frame over Thanksgiving. However, since then, not a lot has happened thanks to winter weather and a lot of snow. But the roof is on, and the plan is to wait on the straw bale until drier weather. In the meantime, though, there's still plenty to do. As always, when we come back here, there's some big project and situation, and today is moving this 400-pound window. Can you guys try not to like crush Macky's remaining good hand?
I'll use that hand.
Yeah, use your already messed up hand.
Ready? Yeah, let's make a fix it very quickly.
Yeah. That worked
Good
way
job.
better than I thought it was going to.
1, 2, 3.
How you feeling about this, Bob?
All right, 1. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Boom.
76 years old and like.
Remember, I was tight end on high school football, and I was the prop in the scrum. So we did a lot of pushing. That was 50 years ago.
Watch out.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. This thing is really heavy. 1, 2, 3. Good, we're good.
Nice.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Macky, don't back up.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.